Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Dysfunctional and today we are going to be starting our playthrough of Pathfinder Kingmaker. I've recently been playing a lot more. I have a bard and a rogue. I downloaded the goblin mod so that I could be our friend Knock Knock for those of you who haven't seen it later in the series. And I think today we're going to try our luck at the hands of a druid. You know, we have Lindsay in our party as a bard, and we do have Knock Knock that we attained in Chapter 2. So I wanted to try to go back to the drawing board and fill a class that we don't necessarily have. And I'm kind of torn between the paladin, the righteous paladin, and a wild-shaped druid that I recently played with some D&D friends on the tabletop. And I know that D&D and Pathfinder are similar but different in a lot of ways. So we're going to kind of roll the dice and see what we get. So, are you ready to come along on this dysfunctional journey? I know I am. Our main story. Alright. Let's just kind of mess with our stats there. Yep, so here we go. We're at the main screen right here. And you can see, for those of you who have played the game, Hedwig, is the main guy that they show up on basically all of the pictures. He's got the big old flail and the shield and the plate armor, and he's just walking it around. So we do have a fighter in Valerie, but any of you that have played this before know that Valerie is about as useless as Twinkies in a diabetic ward. So I want to try to build something that is different. Malaku is a paladin, and we don't really have one of those. Gimar, you know, their pre-made characters, is a sorcerer, and you don't really get one of those. You get Octavia is is that wizard rogue hybrid. You get her little half-orc friend. I can't remember his name at the exact moment. He's a sorcerer, I do believe, and so yeah, we're gonna focus solely on a class that we don't actually get during the campaign. So we can thumb through here and try to find a portrait. I guess we can come back to that. Let's go to race. Let's figure out what we're gonna play first. I've never been one for the whole min-maxing thing. Oh, but yeah, here's a little goblin I was speaking about earlier. The mod is amazing. For those of you who don't have it, you can get them at Nexus Mod. Let's see, a human. I don't know. I've always been more of a fan of the shorter races, but charisma is very important in this game. It's important to be able to bluff, intimidate, and to talk your way out of a lot of things. Let's see. What was the goal? Oh, yeah, you suffer -2 as well. I almost thought about doing my druid from the D&D campaign we recently ran. As I was saying, I was a half-orc druid of the moon. I could wild shape at will, it's bonus actions, and my favorite was I would take on the form of a bear. Now, my only problem that I've ever had with druid in this game is that it takes so bloody long just to get to a fun wild shape. Yeah, you can get your animal companion from the start, which, you know, everybody says go with the Smilodon, and I don't blame them. You get like this cool saber-toothed cat that just womps on people multiple times, and that's handy. I don't mind that at all. It's just I have a thing for bears, and I enjoy being able to be that big, stocky, haunchy bear that just takes up all kinds of damage and smacks people around. Yeah, I play one in WoW too. I've been playing a Guardian Druid for a long time. So it's just kind of one of those things where the thought of playing a bear is awesome. But you got to get to level 8 in this game just to get to the bear. And anybody that's ever played this game before knows it could take a few just to get to that point. So I don't know. And one of the things I do like about the half-orcs that I'm glad that Pathfinder did put in here is our orc ferocity. And this is the same in D&D 5th edition. That when you get knocked down to the ground, you're not actually down. You know, it's almost like you're taking a knee, so you haven't been beat up yet. I guess the only difference between this and paper tabletop is this moves a lot faster, so when you're knocked down, you almost don't see it right away. And, you know, then you look over and you're dead, and you're like, oh, what the hell? So, I don't know. Let's put a pin in that. Let's, actually, let's do this. Let's go to class. We'll go to Druid. Defender of the True World gets... all your wild shapes are still there. I don't really see us going after. I don't really need any magic. So we would go normal druid, standard druid, and I would change this to like a brown. That's more like a red. We'd change that to like a brown, and that to a green. Or maybe we'll swap those and go that with like a brown. You know. Maybe lighten that up a little bit. More of a forest green. Smiling half-orc. Our bond would definitely be the Smilodon, especially early game. That's so useful, being able to have that extra person. Ignore the portrait, we'll get to that soon. So I would definitely build... I wouldn't really build wisdom. I would go strength, dex, con, 2 into intellect for that extra point, and a point into charisma. And we go a little more with charisma. Let's see here. Let's do this. Having that extra charisma can help and mean all the world. That doesn't change at all. That just allows us to use first level spells. Well, let's just do that. So ignoring the portrait, we have built a half-orc druid going on here. He'll have 16 strength, 14 dex, 14 con. Gives him just a little bit extra life. We could probably take the con down and put it back into strength or dex itself. I'm pretty sure that would only get us 1 point with the way the numbers are, the way I'm thinking. We got a 12 AC as a natural, 30 feet. You know, standard will saves, an initiative of 2. I went with toughness. Where are we at here? We go with toughness starting out because that extra hit die is not something I actually tested whether or not wild shape actually has an effect on. I haven't really gotten to the point where I've actually had time to just sit down and look how wild shape replaces your character stats in Pathfinder. I know that in D&D 5th edition that your strength, dex, and constitution is completely changed. It's replaced with whatever you choose. Your intellect, your wisdom, and your charisma have always remained the same. So, on that note, I'm not entirely sure what toughness does, but I was thinking toughness just so that we're going to be able to toss on some medium armor. I know druids aren't supposed to wear metal, but in our case, we're going to try to throw on like some studded leather or something of 4 or 5. I know that we get some stuff later on, so the goal is to try to get some decent AC starting out, because we're not really going to be a caster with this druid if we build this druid. We do have 7 athletics, 3 to persuasion, 5 and 6 to knowledge of the world and lore of nature. So we kind of dip into some of our other players' stuff right here. Lindsay's really good at the world. Amiri's really good with nature, mobility, and athletics. Actually, Valerie's, for what Valerie is supposed to be, she's very athletic, and I guess that makes sense. She's got no mobility, but passive wit, 2 to stealth, trickery, magic device, which is fine. Intimidating. I don't think I've ever really looked at intimidating. Oh, that's right. So this would essentially make up our druid build. A half orc that's good at wild shape. My only other thought would be to do a human, because after chapter 1 you do take hold of barony, and I don't know anybody that would serve under a half orc, you know, roleplay wise anyway, but neither here nor there. A human would probably, for the flavor of it, be almost more barony and whatnot, but if it was a nomadic city or a nomadic tribe or a bunch of people like that, I could see it. So that would be the druid build. Let's go back and look. If I was going to do a paladin, it would definitely be a human. It'd be a human male. Let's see, do we have one of him smiling? One of him growling, one of him sad. Oof, look at those haircuts. Make him slightly... Oop, no, we don't want that. Let's do that. I like the thinner body types on this because it just... Some of the armored pieces just... They start to clip with one another. Why did I do that? Why am I moving the hair? Definitely put a little bit of a scruff on him. Let's see here. Brown his hair up. Next, let's go back to race, or not race, I'm sorry, what am I doing? Let's go to paladin. Oh, lawful, oh yes, yes. Let's just pick something to get it out of the way. Let's go to character. Let's go lawful neutral. Go back to class. What do we have to be? Lawful good. Okay. Lawful good. Since you're wanting to be a punk, let's grab you. Let's go to character. Why am I not able? What are you doing here? Let's go cleric. Click cleric. Deity. Whatever. 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 Get out of the way. Go next. Remove you. Go next. There we go. Now we can select lawful neutral. Always a pain when it does that. We'll go back to class. Okay, hold on just a second. We're gonna back out because now it's wanting to just be a pain. Let's click next. Human class paladin. Ugh, it was being such a pain. This game. Whoa! And would you look at all of that? Ugh, I'm a sucker for a bear, but I am also a sucker for a class that drops a bunch of things at my feet. Slow smites, a divine weapon. It's one thing I've never done. I've never played a paladin ever. Smite evil. I've never, I've played a paladin back when Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale were a thing, or I at least put a paladin in my party because turn undead when you'd have to go into temples full of undead was just ungodly. It was so much fun just to turn undead and watch everything just run away from you or die instantly when it failed their rolls. I'm not sure. Each mercy adds an effect to the paladin's lay on it. So a divine hunter. Ah, it's a caster. No, thank you. I'm not looking for a caster. One thing I have noticed during my time playing Pathfinder when I've played, my bard, my rogue, or I've attempted the druid a few times, is all of their flavor text. All of it always refers to you as herself. When you're choosing a character of any kind, it's always herself. Which, it's great and all, but I'm not a female. This is gonna be like Braun or something. Like, he's not a herself. So it was always one thing, and that's been with it since the beginning of the game. One thing I kind of wish that they'd put in is flavor text that responds, like the exact same flavor text right here, but an I and an M right here if you went with a male. Like, all your flavor text is either male or female when you've clicked it. But, with as much as they're doing with this game, or have done with this game over the past, that's the last thing I'm sure that they would worry about. And it's not anything that I overly find offensive or anything. It was just something I've noticed during all my time. I'm always referred to as a her. I guess I'm going to start putting my hair up in a bun and calling myself Maddie. I'll make you sandwiches and I'll clean your houses. Come to me. Divine health, divine grace. Divine guardian. So the divine guardian sounds like an overzealous bodyguard. It's like that dude in the club that won't let you hang out with anybody else. So that's what it's sounding like. Channel positive energy. So seeing a lot of the same spells that a standard paladin would get. Bonus feats. Oh wow. They get bonus feats. Well, hello now. What do we get here? That's it. Divine Troth pledges her protection to a willing creature for the day. Guarding hands. I get guarding hands, I do. You know what? Let's go with Divine Guardian. And we know that you need to have some charisma. But you need to have some strength. Let's go with 14. Dexterity is nice. Let's just put dexterity at 2 so you're not negative when you get hit. Let's go there. Strength would go to 17, so let's pull that back. Do that so we get the extra skill points allocated. Hold on. If we want to smack some people around, best to go with strength. Go with persuasion, religion, obviously, and the world. You're a paladin, so you would have traveled in your travels. Natural AC starting out is 11, but shoot, a paladin you get heavy armor. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go to abilities. And we know here from this one, combat reflexes, die hard dodge, endurance, great fortitude, improved will. Toughness comes from that. But that doesn't start till level 7. So some of those we would want. The greatest thing I think that the human class gets is this right here, that extra feat. And, you know, that can play a big role in your ability starting out. And we get our deity selection, however you want to pronounce that. Deity, tomato. Let's see. So we definitely don't want to choose something from this list. Well, if we can. Toughness would be a good one, especially for a tank. So we'll go with toughness starting out. We want to be able to take a punch, take a hit, and okay, there we go. We would use a shield. We don't get that one, right? Let's go with persuasive. Being able to talk, being able to speak well towards others is usually a good idea. Scimitar, Clave, Warhammer. A human paladin who worships the dwarven god Torog. I'd do it for the Warhammer. Do it for the Warhammer. Blood for the blood god. It's a Warhammer joke for those of you out there that know that. I'm going to go bury my head in the sand, but we're going to go with Torog. Let's see here. He would be a brave. Always set it to that. We've already got our lawful good. We have to be lawful good. And our total right here. We would be a paladin who gets a buttload of proficiencies and stuff starting out. Who is a 14 to charisma, so he's adept at talking. We have at level 1 we have a +8 to our persuasion. I think +5 or anything above +4 at the very in the little tutorial walkthrough you go through is almost guaranteed to get you kind of through Aldori's stuff. So I'm not sure. The gratification of a paladin right out the gate is pretty significant. You get access to quite a lot of stuff. You can be frontline and not suffer any problems. You use charisma as your spellcast ability, I do believe, for a paladin. Or is it intellect? Nope, nope, charisma would be it, of course. I don't know why I was second guessing myself. So charisma's at the 14, so we'd at least be able to cast second level paladin spells when we got to them. And let's see here. Let's go. Here we go. Let's go back here. I wanted to look at this a little more. So smite evil. I don't see the turn undead ability. And I was under the assumption that we had that in this game. I would hope that it's not something very late game, because you encounter some pretty nasty skeletons about midway through this first chapter. And then you encounter some other baddies when you're going up against a stag lord that, well, while they're easy, they are in great numbers. So some like turn undead would probably be pretty cool. Whoa. Divine health. Okay, so yeah, definitely charisma modifier. I know that channel negative energy from Torum hits everything undead. Huh. You know, we don't have a paladin. We're fighting a druid. A paladin leader, though, would probably be one of those religious nuts in power. Let's see, do I have... There's my halflings. I love my little halflings and my dwarves. Those tiny characters are amazing. Always so much fun to play as one. They're not very... Oh, that is cool. Oh, he didn't look evil at all, did he? So I got all these portraits off of Nexus Mod. I do believe is where I found them. They are... That would be a cool druid one if I went that way. I got all these off of the Nexus Mod. And I just kind of searched for Pathfinder Kingmaker portraits. I wanted some different selection than what we get. Not that Our Games doesn't give us a whole lot of good ones. I wanted something different. I wanted a little bit more variety to choose from with what I went with. Okay, we're kind of back to the beginning here. Let's hard click this direction. Whoo! Warhammer Paladin. Alright, I think we got it. So if we were going to go Paladin, and we're 30 minutes into this, and I still haven't picked a class. This is the hardest part of Pathfinder Kingmaker, in my opinion. It's trying to find a class that can be fun to play for the initial portion. Like I've said, I've tried the Druid, and it just takes so long to get to the end point where you're a giant bear. Maybe I'll do that in maybe I'll do that in my off time. I have done a respec. I downloaded the respec mod. I downloaded the respec mod recently, and I tried it. Though my bard that I respec'd into a druid is only level 5, so I've only got the wolf. But maybe I'll do the druid in my off time, and I'll play. So here we have it. This is Matthias. Matthias, I like to toss the on there because it's almost fantasy worldly when it has the. My bard is Grizzix the Mad. My orc from 5th edition was Gork the Orc because he don't speak a good English. So Matthias as a paladin. Matthias the not brave. That's not very humble. The stalwart. There we go. We'll go with Matthias the stalwart. You know what? We'll just leave it. He's a humble paladin. Doesn't think too highly of himself. Well, if that's the case, should probably go here. Well, we're going to leave that white, and we're going to put gold trimmings. Okay, there we go. Gold trimmings. I don't know why it doesn't let you do it here at the very end. You should still be able to. Let's go back to the race real quick. He doesn't have any hair. Yeah, let's give him that cute little ponytail, shall we? I know our guy is clean shaven, but you can't be a rough and tough old world paladin or old world fighter without having a little bit of stubble. So we're going to roll with that. We're going to roll with a paladin. He's a human paladin. He is the human paladin divine guardian. He has a bunch of proficiencies. We went with toughness and persuasive starting, and it's going to pay off. And he's going to be good for all intents and purposes. So let's go ahead and click complete. So at this point, with this type of build, I automatically know I'm not going to get Horum or Jalith. So we're going to click complete. And that is where we'll start today. Now we're going to go for a little bit into here. We're only at 34 minutes, so it's not a whole lot of time. I'll go for a little bit longer, and then I'll end the video. And I will leave it up to you guys, the viewers out there, to tell me whether or not this is something you'd like to see more of. I know I have quite a few playthroughs planned for y'all. A lot of them are Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons thought of. Baldur's Gate, some Icewind Dale playthroughs. I do have some of my group's D&D campaign coming through that we recently started on Fantasy Grounds. I'll be posting that soon. But I'll leave that totally up to everybody else to decide or to to let me know, give me feedback, what you'd like to see more of. I do have a bunch of games on my my PlayStation that have gone unplayed due to the school semesters and the workloads and the class loads that I've had. So yeah, I have things like Days Gone and the Kingdom Hearts and some other games of that nature. I did plan on doing a full Assassin's Creed playthrough. I think my biggest problem with that is going to be the fact that there is no remaster for 1. They remastered, what was it, 3 or 4 with the American Revolution, but they haven't remastered 1 for some reason. Greatest groundbreaking game ever. And I know I can get it on Steam here and play, but I was looking towards more of a console style, just to sit back in my recliner and play. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get a little bit into the tutorial, and I will end the video here soon. Oh, Tartuccio, how I can't wait to smack you up again and again and again. Oh, looks like I've got a, well, if it'd give me back my... Looks like I'm playing with an orc right here with a large greatsword. Oh, he's got a Miri style sword right there. Where is she, by the way? Oh, yep, there she is. They're sharing a weapon. Oh, all those legal technicalities in the old world, because they were so finite. See, there it is, Baron or Baroness. Even Jamandi Eldori will refer to us as a male or female. Not the flavor text. No, no sir, the flavor text says, I am a woman. I am a woman, hear me roar. I do like that there is a lot of female presence in this, though. That I know that as you get further in the companions, you find males to equal the females. I do believe there's 11 companions total, but I do like the strong presence of the females. Amari and Valerie. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. Well, there's a whole team of us. Who exactly will receive the Baron's title? Oh, Tartuccio, you a little loudmouth. Big lungs for such a small body. But yeah, no, I do enjoy the fact that right here, there's 1, 2, 3 little Lindsays right here. Valerie, I don't think Valerie stands in the hall during this point, but Valerie's one of those types that I think I really like. The game portrays her, and it gives you the option to comment about how pretty she is. And she's like, ah, fuck that. I'm a badass bitch. See this plate armor? Fuck you. I don't need to be pretty. I just need to hit hard. Same thing with Amiri, though. But again, yeah, I do enjoy these badass female roles, these badass female types, because you don't see that a whole lot in these games. Well, I won't say these games, but games today, you don't get a whole lot of badass women. It's always the men coming to save everything. And I guess I should put my foot in my mouth before I start saying something that pisses somebody else off. But that's my position on it. I do enjoy that. Like it or love it. Like it or hate it. We all know that's gonna be true. Them politicians always got their hands in shit that it doesn't belong in. Huh. And this is something that was never in there in the very beginning. Casey or Cassie or however you pronounce her name. When the game first came out, she wasn't there. So I believe she was part of the DLC that they brought in recently. Homeboy right there's got my armor. He's gonna give it up. I tell you what. I'm gonna go over there and beat him over the back of the head. Take it. Ah, that's not very paladin-like. Yeah, well. There we go. There's my girl. You tell her I'm Mary. Oh yeah, Amiri's such a badass. Don't they always thank us from the bottom of our hearts while we're all getting our shit pushed in? Oh, speaking of the devil. This dude should have been a bard. He really should have been a bard. Uh, I'm a paladin and I'm eager to beat up people or end evil, so yeah, we sure will. Just wait. Plenty of great feats in store. Uh-oh. Oh, look at Lindsay being a judgmental. So wrong. A book? Not a bad plan. It's settled. I'll accomplish the feats and you'll write them down. Uh-oh, she's gonna take it back to her diary. Well, so that's where we'll end it today, folks. We've got a paladin picked out. We did go with a human paladin, and we'll pick up here where we left off, and see you guys next episode. If you'd like to see more of this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and to let me a message in the comments. Let me know if this is something you'd like to see or if there's something different. Thank you. Bye.